22.
Oh, you're young.
Young. Jada's like, oh, you're in my Gen Z
Stop.
population. Let's get it. I figured that's why I wanted to have her on the show, because I know that you guys can relate on many different
Mm-hmm.
levels. And there's a lot going on in your generation for sure, and TikTok is like one of the largest platforms that's being used, to convey
Yeah.
messages like yours.
Yeah, TikTok has helped a lot of people with their situations, and it helps other people understand as well
Exactly.
in an easier
So
way.
it's easier for you, right, to communicate. I love that. So if you
Because
don't
I'm
mind,
not a direct communicator. Like, I'm not a talker. I'm very quiet in person.
would
Like,
you say you're shy?
yeah, I'm real shy.
For real? Oh my god.
Hmm.
You do not act like that at all on your channel, baby. You whipping it. You being honest about a lot of stuff, just being who you are. To me, I feel like doesn't portray shyness, but I guess like you said, TikTok kind of gives you that doorway for that, right?
Hmm.
And
It's
for
kind of
people,
different on social media because you're like at home and you just set your camera up and just record and nobody's around. So it's
just
kind
you
of
and the
different.
camera. Yeah, you and the camera. It eases things, I tell you that. Jada, thank you for being on. For people who don't know, that's my daughter Jada. She's my co-host today. So we apologize for the lag, but we're getting a storm coming in, but we still gonna make this baby roll. I might be lagging too. But we have special guest on today, Mr. Teontee. We want to thank you so much for being a guest on the Sisters Talk podcast.
Hey, y'all.
Such a blessing. And thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, thank you so much, Rich, for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and share this show. This is a good one. We're talking about something that most people will not ever talk about because they're immature, because they don't have an open mindset. But our topic today is dating a female. And I thought, who would be a better guest than to have Mr. Teontee on himself and in the flesh? Stop playing with me. I reached out to him on email. I'm so proud of myself. And you messaged back? Oh my God.
Of
Anyway,
course.
and I just, number one, let me get out all the compliments before we get started. Honey, your skin, immaculate.
Thank you.
I don't know what you're eating, but you need to give me the recipe behind the scenes because I need it. I need it. So let me stop talking. Let me let Jada get a few words.
Huh? Oh, I don't really have anything to say right now. I'm just going with the vibes.
Period. Period. And Teontee has very good vibes, in my opinion. We were talking behind the
Thank
scenes.
you. I appreciate that.
Very
Yeah, for
relaxed.
sure. You're a good person, and it's hard to run across people with that much following. You have a lot of following, okay, and you make music. You do a lot.
Yes.
And the music is really good. I heard one of your songs.
Thank you.
Yes, I
I
like it a
love
lot.
that compliment. Thank you.
Mhm.
It's very diverse, right?
It
It's not
is.
just like one. Like, well, his music is a one size fit all because it can reach out to many different genres and different people and cultures. Like, you just don't stay with hip hop or like rap. You
Oh,
doing a little
y'all
bit
want
of
to know the craziest thing? I
what?
checked my Spotify analytics yesterday,
Mhm.
and it had more streams in Finland, Europe, than the United States.
Oh yeah.
Really?
And I was like, what the world?
It's because I'm telling you, it's your vibe. That's why I ask you behind the scenes, like, when are you gonna go? When I say mainstream, I'm talking about like Hollywood, but at the same time, we already know what's up with that too.
Right.
Most of the time. But you definitely have the material and you have the look. Like, look at his hair, Jada. Look.
I know.
Look at
I was just
Thank
complimenting
you.
his hair color. I really love it.
look, we're gonna make him blush. I'm sorry, but anyway, just too handsome. So let's jump into some questions here that I know a lot of people are gonna log on later or right now. They want to know. So I get a lot of women that's saying like, girl, you know he likes both sides. And I'm like, but how you know that? You know what I mean? Until you ask a person what it is that they're into, how do you know? And I think you're a perfect example of not judging a book by its cover. Like, I want you to kind of tell us before we get into the sexual side of things. I kind of want to talk about like who you are as a person. What made you get into social media and want to invite people into your life?
Uh, what made me want to get to social media? I have always been into social media, honestly, like since I'll say like 10th grade. Um, I saw other people doing it, and I was like, why can't I do it? Um, it was always interesting to me. I was always interested in like cameras and electronics and filming myself. I used to make like many music videos and stuff like that as a kid of my little siblings. And you said what made me want to like share my story?
Yeah, like what made you want to invite us into your personal life?
I noticed that it isn't talked about a lot on the internet. Like, especially, I didn't see a lot of Black people talking about it and sharing their experience as a Black feminine male. You don't see that a lot. I usually saw it in Caucasian people. No offense to Caucasian people. I love y'all too. I'm just saying. I'm being blunt. But yeah, I feel like I can be that representation for the Black side.
I love that. I love that so much. And you're right. I mean, we mostly see, and I think Jada, you can attest to this. When we look into social media or media in general, most of the men that are Black, they're always masculine for the most part, or they're flaming gay. One of the two, right?
Yeah.
Or they're flaming gay. It's never like, oh,
There's no balance between.
yeah, it's not like ever like I'm a feminine man who enjoys dating women, and that's what I like. That's what I love. And then the question more so to society is like, why can't that be believable? Like, why have we been so
Yeah, it's not normalized at all.
at all? It's like you either one or the other. We're not believing none of that stuff we're talking about in between. It's like, but why not though? Why not?
Right.
Right.
That's crazy.
It should
Jada,
definitely be normalized.
I was telling Jada, go ahead and sign. I know she want to ask some questions.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Okay. I'll get started with my first question then. And that's gonna be, would you ever date someone that's lower maintenance than you?
Would I ever date someone that's lower maintenance than me? Yeah. Let me see. Wait, I had to think about that question.
No, yeah.
You better answer it wisely because
like I said, I was explaining to him a little bit a while ago, for people that don't get their nails done, their hair done every 2 weeks. Some guys don't find that attractive. Some guys want to see you with your hair done and nails done every 2 weeks. So, it's all your preference.
That's not everybody's thing to have a skincare routine and
right. Not mine.
Get up every day and just get themselves ready. Some people like to just throw on some sweats and just chill. I can say that I don't put on clothes every day. Most of the time I'm in sweats. You just see me on social media dressing up and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm a chill person. I'm not like, you have to look this certain type of way to date me. I'm chill. They can be chill too.
Down to earth people.
Yeah.
See?
Yes. Down to earth. I'm a
because there's some people that are over the top. Like, I'm over the top when I step out, but when I'm inside my house, I'm real comfortable.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Exactly. That's a good point. I also wanted to know your take, Teontee. Like, what's your definition of a feminine man?
My definition of a feminine man is just stepping into your carefree type of energy, your loving energy, showing affection without people telling you that it's gay to show affection, stepping into your emotions and just being yourself. And I feel like that's feminine. That's feminine energy, right?
So,
no, yeah, I get what you're saying though. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's actually human energy when you think about it.
Yeah, I don't know why
But I don't think feminine could be necessarily like just being super, super, super flamboyant. I feel like feminine can have multiple definitions.
Right.
Period. I agree with that 100%. And it's refreshing to hear someone your age explain it so eloquently, because there's people in their 40s and 50s who could not communicate that to us right now if we ask them, because they have been raised and conditioned to think a certain way about what malehood is all about. So I'm loving that. I'm loving like how this new generation is coming in and really focusing on being who you truly are. You guys are focusing on being your true self. Don't let anybody take that away from you. And I again just want to thank you for answering that question, because there's gonna be some men that's gonna learn.
Yeah, I was saying that feminine is stepping in. I think feminine is stepping into your loving, nurturing type of energy, because a lot of masculine dudes, they don't care to do that most of the time because they think it's gay or they think it's feminine. Because they have been raised that way, like boys been raised to like play with action figures and you can't cry because men don't cry, when that's not the case. Men can cry, men can show emotions. And yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, do you have a question for him?
Yes. My second question would be, would you be open to dating a more masculine presenting woman?
I think so, because a lot of masculine presenting women reach out to me a lot. And
I figured.
they're like real masculine, and I'd be like, how y'all interested in me? But I
Yeah.
don't know.
Cause I feel like it's more I feel like it's a comfortable combo. Like, you know, you're having your feminine energy and your masculine energy coming together. And I feel like for some people that makes sense to have, you know, masculine and feminine instead of having feminine and feminine. Not saying that it can't work, but I just feel like for some people it would be more comfortable. And since you're
It's
expressing your
kind of like a balance.
yeah, like there's your yin and your yang, and then I feel like that just makes sense for some people
Mm-hmm.
for them to feel more comfortable. So,
But feminine and feminine can work also.
yeah,
Can you
I
explain that? Because I always was
Mhm.
worried about feminine and feminine energy. I
Me
just
too.
cat fight all over.
It's it's more like a relatable type of thing. Like you can relate a lot because you're both femme and you're into feminine things. You can have some of the same hobbies. Like anybody can like going shopping, but going shopping, uh, going to get manicures and pedicures,
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
Without your boyfriend throwing a tantrum, like I don't want to go get
Yeah.
my nails done.
That's
That's too
true. I guess it's
girly.
more of like a best
Yeah,
friend.
y'all have fun together.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
It's
more
like a best friend in a relationship type of thing.
right. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of women would actually appreciate that. A
Yeah,
guy being more feminine in terms of that thing, because it's like it's taking care of yourself, and there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. And
That's
if
true.
anything, you should want to do that for yourself. So
absolutely.
I love that.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. How does like the perception of you from society affect the way you move, you act, you communicate with us on the social media platforms and in person? How does it affect your everyday life?
Uh, are you saying? Wait, can you explain it better?
Yeah. So like you know how some people just they throw shade. They're just like, oh please, you don't like women. Like you
Are you saying how does
yeah, how do
does
their
people's
opinion about you?
opinions affect my life?
Yes.
Uh, at first it did affect me, but over time I learned that I'm a social media influencer. I put my life out there by my choice, so everyone's gonna have opinions. I used to clap back at every comment, but now I'm just like, what's the point of replying back when I know people are gonna say something? I mean, it's bad for them to talk negative, but people are like that, so
Right.
I just don't care no
People are
more.
gonna find something to say.
Yeah,
No,
people are always going to find something to say, which is sad. I feel like society has been conditioned to be so cruel and so judgmental when it shouldn't be that way. I wish everyone was more like loving and accepting, but it's not going to be that way until everyone comes together and make a big change.
Right.
But who knows when that's going to come?
Right.
Yep.
Well, I was gonna ask you when it comes to women, you know, when you go into like a party or a club, and since you do music, I'm pretty sure you're around groups of women all the time. How is it for you being a feminine male? How do women approach you? That's what I want to know. How does that typically
They
present?
don't approach me unless they know me from social media.
Mm.
Because if I step out right now and go to the mall, they're gonna be like, yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
work it. And, and I'm just like, if only they knew. But but yeah, a lot of people don't approach me. I don't approach people too because I'm shy. If I was to approach somebody, it would be like in the DMs and something like
Oh, you
that.
behind the scenes, okay?
Yeah. Because I don't know how to approach people. I don't really know how to talk to people. I feel like I'm that way because society made me that way. Because in school, like, nobody really talked to me because I was the weird kid. Like, I'm not like them. Obviously, I'm not like them. They're different. I'm different mostly. But what they do was normalize what I am is not normalized much. So they made me feel like I couldn't talk to nobody. And I feel like as I grew older, it became normalized in my adult life. And mostly with men too. Like, I'm very uncomfortable talking to men in certain situations. Like having a conversation with them when they be like, "What's up, Teontee?" I just be like, "What's up?" And that's the end of the conversation. Like, I don't know how to talk to you because a lot of men have bullied me throughout my childhood, so I don't know how to talk to them.
That was actually gonna lead me into my question as well.
If did I make sense?
No, that made perfect sense. Like, I was gonna ask you, do you struggle making friendships with males at all because of the way that you present yourself? Of course, like most masculine men that I know in my generation anyway, they are terrified of making friends with someone that is different, like presenting or feminine presenting, anything that's not going with what they have going on, or if it's not masculine enough for them.
Absolutely.
They're terrified. They're
because
like,
they have been raised that way. They have been raised to hate people that are different by their parents. It's mostly like Bible thumping people. I don't know y'all's religion, so if y'all are Christian, no disrespect.
I was gonna ask you, are you religious in any way?
I stepped out of it because it made me feel so uncomfortable.
Right. I can understand that.
I thought it would be accepting, but it's not. Especially down south, like it's not accepting at all. Right. Some people maybe, but the ones I was around
weren't. Yeah.
It's like
we're a little. They're strict on what they identify Christian. Yeah.
I wouldn't use the word strict. I would use the word ignorant. Moving on.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep it real on this show. I'm not gonna listen.
They follow what they want to follow and what they think is right. And if it doesn't go into their agenda, then it's not. Yeah.
Right. They never took the time out to try to understand people like me.
Right.
They never ask questions. Even if I try to explain, it's like Bible. Read the Bible. It says men shouldn't wear this. Women should wear this. Like, gosh, can I just be myself?
Right.
You can't. Not in the South. Not a solid Pentecostal church. Robert says, does being feminine make it easier to get women?
No.
It doesn't make it any. It probably makes it harder, right?
Yes.
Because they're questioning your sexuality 100%.
Right. Probably constantly.
It's I'm not gonna say it's a big percentage of women that would date a feminine guy, because it's not. Because the stereotypical for society is to date. Is for a feminine woman to date a masculine man, and vice versa. Right. So it's not easier.
Right.
It's harder.
Okay. He also asked, I only asked because I saw in college a lot of women gravitating towards feminine guys more. And I think it says,
I feel like it's starting to become more normalized. And since it's getting talked about more in social media, I feel like a lot of more women are like, am I interested in this? They're curious about it, so they're probably like wanting to give it a try.
Right.
And then Richard says, or Dillinger says, the South is a Bible Belt, as they call it. It is.
It is very restricting. Very restricting.
Yes, it is. Well, it makes a lot of people not want to come out and be honest about who they really are, too.
Right.
That's something that people need to realize.
I'm quite sure it's a lot of more feminine guys out there, and they just hide it due to their strict Christian family or something like that. Or they don't even have to be Christian, judgmental family. Right. It's a lot of men out there that want to be themselves, and they can't. That's why I'm here. And that's one of the reasons that I forgot to mention. I wanted to post. Sorry. But that is one of the reasons that I wanted to post on social media about my life, to help other men be comfortable with being themselves and just overall living their truth and not caring what nobody have to say. But yeah,
That part.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jada.
Oh, back to, I don't know if Robert was his name when he asked that question about women gravitating towards feminine men, but another thing on that, I feel like women feel more comfortable
yeah, that's what I
and
was
they
about to
feel
say.
like they're not gonna be like, how do you I don't know how to word this in the most non-triggering way for some guys, but for some masculine men, they can come off as overly aggressive, or they can be just kind of like too domineering, where it's just kind of like you don't even want to get to know me, you just want to know me for one thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't have any relatable grounds, it just kind of
Right,
feels like you're just trying to get at one thing and then that's it. Like,
trying to get in their
but
pants.
right, it doesn't feel authentic. So for some
Mm-hmm.
women, I feel like, yeah, I know for myself, I talk to people that are more feminine leading, even guys, because they're just more approachable. You can relate to them more, you can talk
Yeah,
to them more, you'll feel more comfortable and
in a
stuff like that.
friend way, in a friend way. A lot of women gravitate towards feminine men more, but in a relationship way, it's very different.
Right.
Yeah,
I just wonder if it's because it's the idea that feminine, you can't protect me. Masculine, I know you're
a
gonna
lot
be
of people say that, but who says that it's limits to being a feminine man? Like
right.
you're
Because
still
from
a
what
man
I've
at the end of the
seen,
day. Like
He said
feminine
not
men
too
do
much now.
yeah,
He said, I'm
feminine
still a
still a
men
man.
man.
Okay.
from what
No.
I've witnessed. But guys, not to like take away from our conversation, but I did want to talk about this. So this young lady, Miss Khadijah, literally, this happened hours ago, I think, or yesterday,
I
killed her
saw that.
husband. Yeah, unalived her husband, I should say, because she found out he was, on the other team.
Right.
I just want to know y'all's opinion about this because I have two different ideas about it. Number one, I feel like he should have told her, like, you don't marry a woman and have 4 kids with her, and she has no clue that that's what you're into. But we don't know what she knew about him. I'm just assuming that she didn't. And then number two, you don't take matters into your own hands because you don't have the right to unalive anyone. That's not true. I just feel like both were wrong. Both had issues. Definitely counseling needed to be had. Honesty needed to be there. Like, what are y'all's thoughts on that?
Uh, yeah, she shouldn't have unalived him. Like that's messed up. And I feel like he probably wasn't comfortable enough to come out. I guess because he already made some decisions. Like he had kids with her, and that's her. But they married.
Yes, they were.
They already got married, so he probably didn't know how to tell her. But that's still kind of wrong. Lying to her the whole time and knowing you're this way. So
Jada,
and,
what's your thoughts too? Like,
I think that unaliving anybody just based off their sexual orientation is completely terrible. And I feel like, if anything, she just should have got a divorce and
yeah,
should have got some tests done on herself to make sure that she didn't conceive anything from him. But just like me saying, like, if putting myself in her situation, it's not easy, and obviously it's very disheartening, because you've been living with this person, you had family with this person, and they come out as this way. But I feel like if you really truly care and love someone, you would want them to be happy and want them to be free and comfortable in their own skin and their daily life. You shouldn't let your feelings overlook that for that person. So I just feel like that was
and
terrible
obviously she didn't
thing.
care about him or
Yeah, like you didn't care
because
about him enough to give him any
like
leeway.
she
Like
just
Jesus.
stopped.
yeah, I
Just
think
stopped in
maybe
the
it's that
bed.
she suspected that he was cheating anyway, and to find out you were cheating with a man, I
Yeah.
think it's kind of. I think when we're in the heat of the moment, right? Because you have to think about it, guys. She was married to him, and she bore 4 kids. It wasn't like okay, they were dating. She found out that he like, man, okay, well, go do
Y'all
you,
What
just
would y'all
dating.
do in that situation?
child. I'm going upside somebody's head.
I feel like I have more patience and more like I would definitely be angry, there's no doubt, especially if I had children with someone and you're not telling me everything that I need to know about you. But I wouldn't I would not go to the extent of killing them. I'm so sorry. Like, cheat on me and stuff like that. Like, yes, it's gonna hurt, and I might slap you. I'm not even gonna lie. I might throw a couple hands, but it's never gonna be to the point where I lose all sense of rationality.
You know what I honestly would do in my old ripe age? I would definitely just walk away. Like the moment you told me that this is what, or if I found out this is what you're doing, I am leaving. Not because I'm leaving you in the moment. I'm leaving so I don't do anything that I would regret.
Exactly.
Now he doesn't have a life and she doesn't have a life, and their kids
exactly. Like, who's gonna take care of your children too? That's another thing. Like, before you are so deep into the moment of anger, you need to think about the other things that are gonna be happening as a ripple effect of you putting somebody down. So I feel like, for me, like I said, I would never do something like that. I don't have the heart to kill someone anyway. I don't care how much you hurt me.
Unalive, because we don't want them to mute this. Okay. Yes, Robert says, I actually just recently had a friend who married the same guy twice, who she knew was gay. Her ex-husband is now with a man, and I had to help her understand that she just needs to understand what he was dealing with. So this seems to me that there's a lot of men fighting the urge of wanting to be with men, but because of either their religion or their family or their reputation, purely their reputation.
But they shouldn't be with them in the first place. Like, why get with somebody knowing you don't want them?
That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy, and that's unhappy.
Yeah, that's deceptive. Robert says, just be happy and don't hurt people. Exactly, and more importantly, be honest. You gotta be honest with yourself so that you can be honest with other people.
Right. Yes, I would throw a couple hands, because realistically, if you're catching somebody, especially someone that you care about, boyfriend, girlfriend, and stuff like that, and they're with somebody else, and then they're not even the same gender, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be fuming. But like I said, I would never gonna lap somebody, so that's crazy.
Yeah, now their kids gonna have to live a very traumatic life.
Right. They're gonna have to live with their that's crazy.
And apparently she did it in front of them. That's the sad.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even worse. So she really
she was don't get me wrong. I understand the internal rage, but not to the point of you responding and reacting like that in front of your family and doing that to someone that you actually do love. You love them. That's the reason why you're so infuriated. So, like, walk away, people. Like, all you need is a good hour or two away from the situation to calm down and think.
Exactly. I agree with Robert, though, too. Him saying that they're in a relationship for themselves, because doing that in front of your children is like that's something else. Like,
that's bottom line. Like,
you done crossed so many lines. I don't even know where to help you.
But then again, we don't know what he put her through either. Right. That's what I was thinking about as well. Like, maybe he had just went too far on that obviously was the last straw with her.
Right. That's crazy.
It sucks either way.
It does. And I feel terrible for the children and them having to witness something like that. Honestly, like, I can't.
Yeah, people are wilding, and then y'all are doing this on social media. Like, come on, like, what?
Right.
Social media is wild.
Anyways,
makes no sense. It makes zero sense to me. On another note, on a happier note, tell us, like, how typically your chemistry is with women. Being that you're a feminine man, I just kind of know. I want to know the dynamics.
Okay, so, like, you want to know,
like, how it would be like if you were in a relationship with a super feminine woman, a woman who likes to get her nails done, her toes done. She likes to get her lace front glued down. I said glued down because, those are expensive girls. Some of us like just to sit our wig on top of our head. But
the chemistry is really good, honestly. It's like, like I said, it's very relatable. We like to do a lot of relatable things together. And I don't want to say that because it's kind of.
What's that? Well, give me another word.
I was going to speak on something sexual, but I'm not going to do
that. Oh, well, you can. This be you. It's open.
But yeah, the chemistry is really good, actually. We understand each other very well. I'm speaking on my last relationship. I said I wasn't going to speak on it, but it came up naturally. But
sorry.
But yeah, it's very relatable. We can be comfortable with each other, talk about personal things. Like, you know how, like, when how most masculine men are when a woman's period comes on. They don't know what to do. Like I already know what to do. I know to go get the snacks. I know what type of pads. I know what to do. The heating pad. All of that. Yeah, it's
So
very
see, you already
comfortable.
know.
Cooked
Yeah,
up,
Yeah,
boom.
I already know what to do. So
Don't play.
good friend vibes.
Right. You
See,
gotta like
mommy
that.
little friend vibe. That's what it is. Sincere says with her scissor pick up there. I love me some scissor. Not condoning it, but a lot of gay men have to live with the fact that their families want them to build a family with a woman and hide themselves, which is why they end up being deceptive. That's true.
That's very true. And a lot of men that come out to some people like
oh
harm
yeah,
them or try to harm them due to them coming out. That's a lot of things that people don't like to talk about either. Like they like to get mad at the person for hiding themselves, but there's a lot of people out here that love to hurt people that are happy about being who they
But
are.
why was I thinking in my head somebody literally beating them into submission? Like that's really what
Yes.
some
That is,
people.
there are parents out here that will send their children to church reservation camps
yeah.
to bring them back to straight.
Redirect their way of thinking. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
they torture
is
them.
I was not gonna use that word, but they hurt those
Yeah, they
children.
harm them a lot.
Yes,
I
and
actually taught a student that had to go through that last summer, and it was, let me just say, and I'm a God fearing woman, but what they were doing was ungodly to him. Let me just put it that way. And I had to do a lot of mentorship with that young man, and thank God he graduated. He's 18 now, and it's ridiculous. Let people live. Let them be who they are.
Yeah, they're not using Christianity in the right way.
at all, they're using it very unholy.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
To
not
say
okay
the
at
least.
all. Yeah,
You
because
know what's funny to a lot of brainwashed religious people? They will look at this show and be like, "Oh my God, it's blasphemy! You're speaking against what?" No, we're not. We telling y'all the truth.
right.
Like, if more
If
you guys start living the way you're supposed to, as opposed to Bible pushing, you would actually be a decent human being. But a lot of people are not living
using
with.
violence against anybody and using the Bible to justify it is that's blasphemy. Like I you can't tell me that that's okay. There's
right.
no way.
It's not.
That's insane.
And you know, it's kind of like what Robert said, conversation. He said conversion. Sorry, conversion therapy.
Conversion
Right.
therapy,
That
yes.
is it. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I was over here thinking about conversation therapy because I was like, look, that's what we need.
Right.
Like that, like what we're doing here. We need to just start talking about what's uncomfortable for people. Like, you know, the way people live their life is their business. And when we start minding our own business, we'll have a happier world. We just want to get
Exactly.
into business.
And even if you this is scary. Right. And for some people, like, you can't help how you are. And if anything, it's not just going to scare them, but it's going to put them in a situation and somebody else put an innocent person in a situation that they don't need to be in. And then you have the result of this people hurting each other and unaliving each other and hurting somebody that they love and care about due to these tactics that we're trying to, use on people to suppress who they really are.
Exactly.
Right.
What do you have to say about that, Teontee?
I feel like it's true what y'all are talking about. They do use it as a scare tactic. I feel like they can be traumatizing for a lot of people because they want to be themselves. Like, in doing that, it's only going to ruin the human being. Making them make certain decisions down the line in their adult life. Yeah, I feel like they can be very scary for them.
Especially for young teens. Like, oh my
Yes,
gosh, we didn't even let them grow up yet and figure out what it is that they want.
yeah.
And you're already trying to
Reprogram them.
yeah, and it's just
Here's a scientific fact to this too.
It's like
Sometimes
they already went through the trauma, so it's hard to reprogram and be live a normal life again.
exactly. And then also the scientific part of that is that a lot of us have chemical imbalances, not to say there's something wrong, just to say that maybe we really were at birth programmed to believe that we were a girl, but we're trapped in a man's body. Like that's very possible. And people just not try to negate that and they make it more of a spiritual thing, but that's scientifically proven, guys. there's chemical imbalances that we as humans are not in control of. So then you have to just naturally allow that person to make that decision once they become of age. Now, this conversation is pulling way into another direction for another show, but I'm just saying we need to have an open mind, especially as parents, and not be so judgmental, not be so harsh on the people that we say we love. Let's figure them out. Let's give them time to figure themselves out. But baby, Mr. Teontee, he know who he is. We just have a lot of people that view you in a certain light. But you know, it just shows me something. It reflects on their own insecurities or inabilities to be comfortable with who they are.
They make it a selfish thing. Like, they make it all about themselves when it's not about them. Like, this is, worry about your life and I'm gonna worry about mine. It's like, you have to allow people to live their own life. You can't live their life for them.
Right. Agreed.
But you know what I keep on thinking about when I see you? I keep thinking about that video you did when you was trying to take the makeup off and there was no makeup. I said, "Oh,
period. Don't play."
This skin is flawless.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. People don't be believing me. I have to make videos and
you have to show them. Seriously, I appreciate you for that because that's what drew me into you. I was like, this guy is really being himself, like unfiltered. You don't see that too often. Sincere says, what I see from my personal experience is a lot of the older generation don't understand how sexuality works. So they like to be stubborn and keep their old mindset instead of building a new one.
Right.
I got to give you finger snaps on that because Jada and I, we talk about this all the time. I agree.
And I'm thankful enough to have a mom that's, you know, open-minded and hears me out and stuff like that about important subjects and topics like this, because not every parent is willing to have this conversation with their child, which I feel like is very important at like a young age. Like, I know people want to like draw the line at this and that, but I feel like it's okay to let your child express who they are without putting a stereotype or a name on it. Like, it's perfectly fine to let your child be who they are, you know? They don't have to be straight, gay, or, you know, whatever. Just let them be, you know?
Because after all, when you're young, you are just being who you are. Like, you haven't really made a sound decision yet. I mean,
there's no thing in your head as a child like, oh, I want to be like this or I want to be like that. You're just going off of what you want, literally.
Right. And a lot of parents are like, you can do this once you get out of my house at 18. But when they get at your house at 18, how are they going to know who they are? And how are they going to be able to function in their adult life when they weren't able to be themselves as a child?
Right. Now they're having an identity.
They're about being who they need to be. So it's like they don't know. So now they put themselves into these situations with people that they're not really attracted to. And here's the biggest thing, right? When you're in love, you're supposed to be in love with someone who literally attracts your soul, mind, and body, not just your mind. No, it needs to be all three. And if they're not doing it, don't waste your time. I'm telling you the truth, like, because it's not gonna last. Let's just be real. Yeah, and that's why people cheat, because they're not with the person that they need to be with, or they're simply just not ready to settle down. But you have to be able to distinguish the difference between all of this, what we're talking about. Are you ready to settle? The answer is no. Don't get into a committed relationship.
And they need to know how to communicate.
Yeah, communication is so important in relationships. And I feel like if you have not got your friendships down, which I feel like is the basics to relationships, you do not need to be getting into an actual relationship.
Right.
Ooh,
there's so many layers to relationships that people are like, they can't even like hold a friendship. So it's like, you got to get your stuff together before you actually get with another human being and commit your time to someone. Stuff like that. You need to know these important things about yourself. You need to be able to identify with yourself, resonate with yourself, make sure that you're loving yourself before you're jumping into something else with someone else. Because when you're mixing energies, it gets really chaotic really quickly. And that's why I feel like some people are going through such hardships as soon as they get out of the relationship, you know, go through depression, anxiety, all these other things, because they haven't gotten to know themselves.
Right.
But sometimes you need that codependency too. Like, what I'm saying is sometimes you cannot do it all by yourself. I know you should in theory, but some of us are codependent, meaning we need that friend, that best friend, or that homie lover friend, whatever you want to call it, somebody that we're close friends with, we do relationship stuff with too, until we're strong enough. But you need to be with somebody that you can trust to be like that.
Right.
That's the main thing.
Right.
Sometimes we just grab anybody, and then these relationships are falling apart.
That's
and you
what
gotta love yourself before you try to love somebody else.
That is what I'm saying. Yes, like you must love yourself before you try to get any. Like me personally, I cut off a lot of my friends, a lot of my friendships, like family, a lot of that, just so I could get myself together before I jumped back into these things. Because having those string ties can affect you personally without you even knowing it. So I feel like it's really important to find that identity for yourself before you go out into the world trying to find it with someone else or find it in someone else, because people do that too.
Absolutely.
Okay, station.
That was some good advice, because it's true, you know, for all ages too.
Right.
I want to ask
my
you,
young age. That's what I've learned so far.
Yes, I needed that.
Oh,
thank you.
I was gonna ask you too. What's some advice that you would give other feminine men that are afraid to come out and say, "Look, I'm straight,
this is
but
me."
I'm also feminine." Okay.
Right.
See, I'm not good with advice.
Well, just tell us what you've done for yourself, for instance.
Could you repeat that?
Oh, so I was saying, just tell us what you've done for yourself to kind of overcome some challenges in your life.
Oh, I have had talks with myself. I did a lot of reflecting.
It is.
Sometimes I had to leave home. I got good parents. Like I got really supportive parents. But sometimes when it's a lot of energies in the house, I moved by myself like last week. I'm in my own apartment now. But thank you. When I was living with my parents, you know, like it's a lot of energies in the house. So I had to leave sometimes and go book a hotel room to get myself together and just really focus on myself. Because I used to care a lot about what people think, and those times that I did book a hotel room and went to reflect on myself, I had to get myself together and be like, am I really going to let what other people's opinion about how did I say this?
You're letting other people's opinion affect.
Am I really going to let what other people have to say control my life?
Right.
So I have to really come to a ground and tell myself, just be yourself and walk in your confidence and don't care what nobody have to say. Like I literally had to do test runs. Like I had walked in the mall by myself, because I used to didn't do that because I care what people think. So I walked in the mall by myself, walked around, and people were looking at me, but I just said, don't worry about what they think. Just walk confident and be proud of who you are and don't care what they have to say.
Right.
I know that was a lot, but
it's a lot of what we needed though, because like I'm telling you, there's gonna be people that watch this show and they're gonna take away a lot of gems from it. You'd be surprised. And I've been grateful to have some really good down to earth people as guests on the show, and you're definitely one of them.
Thank you.
I definitely want to thank you for being brave. I don't think you realize how brave you are to just simply be you. So I
had to put my words together. I'm not good with words, so
no, you're fine. I think it made
this
perfect
is like
sense.
Casual conversation for us. That's how we make it on the show.
I think that makes perfect sense. You know, building your confidence, doing things that are out of your comfort zone. That's what I got from that. You know, stepping out into something different that you haven't tried before. And I think a lot of people need to do that for sure.
That's called growth, what he's doing. That's extreme growth, personal growth. And that's self-development. That's something that a lot of adults, when I'm talking adults like 30 plus, they really think they're out here doing it, but they haven't taken the time out to do what you're doing, Mr. Teontee. That's self-development, that's growth, that's building self-confidence, self-love, and self-awareness. And that's what you need. Those are the strengths that you need to go and knock down all your goals, get into any relationship and actually be successful in it. That's what it takes. So.
Yeah, and I feel like me moving by myself is going to allow me to find out more about myself in a more
in tune level,
not intimate, personal way. because I'm by myself and it's only me in here and it's not nobody around. Like it's no other energies, it's just my energy. So it'll allow me to just be with myself and figure out what I want to do in life.
Exactly. That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense to me. Jada, did you have any other questions?
Wait.
It says yes when showing off my femme side when I want to wear certain outfits, it really makes you think of other opinions, which is why it's hard to to be
So
feminine.
feminine in society.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Simpson. We love that. Yes.
That's
This is my friend in
good.
here, by the way. So yes, he's dropping some really good ones in here. I think the last question that I had was number 5, and that was to be, at any point, is there anything that's too feminine for you, or are you fluid in your femininity? Point?
I don't think there's anything too feminine for me. I don't think that's possible for me.
I love it.
If I wanted to put on a skirt, I'll probably put on a skirt and walk out the house.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't think there's no rules to femininity, or there's no rules to being yourself. Like you have to live for you at this point, because it's 2023. Like, shouldn't care what nobody have to say. Especially if somebody has something to say about you, by now we should know that those people are unhappy with themselves and they're actually scared to live in their truth. So they're going to want to talk about somebody else for doing what they want to do because they don't have the confidence to do what they want.
Yeah, facts. I agree with that 100%. Especially in our super masculine male population. I'll leave it.
Yes.
And what I was trying to say earlier is when I was saying that I had to do test runs and like walk around the mall and stuff. Basically, what I was trying to say is you have to train yourself to be confident because it's not like an overnight thing.
Right.
You have to, like I said, walk around and you have to fake it till you make it.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I love the honesty. This is like somebody's going to take so much away from this. And he's right. I mean, especially if you're not naturally like an extroverted person. If you're naturally introverted, you really do have to push yourself. Because honestly, to be honest, I'm naturally introverted. Nobody would ever be able to tell. If you see me in real life, I'm quiet and I'm looking at you like you're crazy. And you'd be like, what are you doing? But she all on the show asking questions, talking to all these people, but I'm just to myself.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's just who I am.
For me, I'm extroverted for everyone else because I feel like I pull a lot of the extrovert out of my friends because all of my friends are pretty introverted. But when
I would think Jada was the introvert and you were the extrovert.
Yes, so at heart I'm very shy. Like about like how I express myself, like my true feelings. If I'm telling you something and I really care about you, I'm definitely the shy type. It takes me some time to get used to you and to be really honest and open. But when I'm with my friends or, I'm introducing myself to somebody, I push the extrovert to the front because that's my safety guard. That's who I rely on to get stuff done. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that a lot. I did have to fake it till I made
this
it.
This girl come in the house and close the door. We don't see her.
Yes, I do. I am to myself. I'm in my room. You want to find me? I'm in there listening to music.
We don't see her for hours. But I told you it was gonna be 20 minutes. I lied. I'm sorry, but thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much
for
coming on the show today. You were an absolute pleasure to have as a guest.
Oh, thank you. I enjoyed y'all so much. Y'all brought me out of my shell.
Oh, that's what we do at the Sisters Talk podcast. Now, I want to ask you, do you have any final words for the audience today?
I'm gonna just say, be yourself. Don't care what nobody have to say, and just be you. Be confident. Be proud of who you are, and and spread love and positivity.
Yes.
Heavy on the spread love. Oh my God.
Spread all of the love.
If we can allow you to just wait behind the scenes for 2 more minutes, and we'll be right with you. We don't want you to leave. We're gonna get ready to wrap up this podcast. So guys, don't go anywhere. All right, guys. It's been such a pleasure to have some very elite people on the Sisters Talk podcast. You guys may not know some of the people that I bring on, but like Mr. Teontee, he's a up and rising star. He's well known on TikTok. This man has so much courage inside of him to really open up to the public and show you guys who he really is unfiltered. And yes, he is straight. So, guys, if there's any producers out there, any film producers, music producers that would like to work with Teontee Love, reach out to him. He's on Facebook. You'll be able to find out all his information. I'll make sure to add it here in our YouTube post. In case you don't know where our YouTube channel is located, it's streaming along at the bottom. And we'll be back next month in April with another guest. I'll keep you informed of who that will be. And guys, as always, we want you to have a blessed and safe Sunday. And thank you so much for tuning into the Sisters Talk podcast. We do it for the community, and you guys have been doing a great job supporting us, and we just want to thank you. Have a good night. Bye.